Hi there folks, I am in Glasgow City Centre and today I'm planning to cycle the Southwest City Way, which is one of Glasgow's core cycle routes that radiate in different directions out from the city centre. The Southwest City Way starts just on the other side of this bridge on the south side of the River Clyde and runs southwest through the areas of Tradeston and Kingston to Pollokshields. That was the original section and that was completed in October 2015, and then there was an extension added through Pollokshields to Pollok Country Park, opened early 2023. So if you join me, let's go. This bridge, Tradeston Bridge, or the Squiggly Bridge as its nickname goes, was opened in 2009 to link the south side with the financial district. And the Southwest City Way begins here. I'll time it to see how long it takes us to get to the other end. Lucky with the lights there. And I'll do a short loop of Pollok Country Park and then we'll come back. I did have a look on the mapping just to learn a wee bit about the history of some of the buildings. Historically, it appears to have been quite an industrial area. No doubt there would have been housing and utilities to go along with that for the workers, but that's all gone. The total length of this cycle route is 3.9 kilometres or 3.4 miles. And I just wanted to film the route as it exists now. This is the Monday the 14th of July 2025. Just on the left here we have the former St John's Roman Catholic School. It's now an addiction service, but it seems pretty big. And it was variously described as a primary and secondary, so it possibly did both in that time. It's on the mapping from the 30s. (1934) at least. Now, as I say, many of these buildings were engineering works and other industrial premises originally. The one straight ahead, the ashlar sandstone brick building there, was built around 1855, the original part, and then you've got extensions. That was the Eglinton Engineering Works, now converted into housing. We're just passing under the M74 extension motorway, built to take pressure off the M8 motorway through the city centre. And you've got West Street subway station as we just turn off West Street onto Scotland Street. The building on the right there. Oh. I'm not sure he saw me. Was a copper works, the largest in Scotland at one stage, but mostly demolished. This is a shared pedestrian crossing, so as long as traffic's clear, I'm happy to go. However, I do tend to do my best to abide with the cycle-specific ones. This building on the left was originally the subway power station, opened in 1895. It powered the subway network with steam turbines, and it was closed in 1935 when the system was electrified, and the site was taken over by the next door Howden's Works, engineering works here. That was owned by James Howden, who had an interest in marine engineering and invented more efficient types of ship's boilers. The system was used on many of the ocean liners of the day, including the Lusitania and Mauritania. And we just passed Shields Road subway station, so you've got the two subway stations on that stretch there, along with the power station. Now on Shields Road, and just about to cross the railway. There's been a bridge here since at least 1860. And this particular one was a complete renewal, and it only opened last year, August 2024. We're just approaching the end of the original section of the Southwest Cityway at St Andrews Road and St Andrews Drive. You can see the signage up there. City Centre to Pollokshields in 12 minutes. It's actually taken us 7 minutes 28 seconds. Although I suppose we'll lose some of that time waiting at the lights. We'll just be taking a right here onto St Andrews Drive for the remainder of the route. there we are. Was reluctant to go, not knowing the phasing myself. What I forgot to say about Howden's works, James Howden, they also built some of the TBMs, tunnel boring machines, that were used to dig the Channel Tunnel. Good on them.
Thank you.
Still they keep coming. Must be a running club. They could do with maintaining this section slightly better, considering it is the newest section and you've got growth like this blocking half the route. Along with some damaged bollards. So I see it as a positive that they're investing in cycling infrastructure, but they really should be taking into account the maintenance and upkeep costs, because they seem to struggle to do so with all the current infrastructure, never mind all the new ones that are planned. Here we go. We're just coming up on Maxwell Park on the left. It was opened in 1890 and wow, it was land gifted to the city by the local landowner, Mr. Maxwell. His family having owned this whole area and the country estate that contained Pollok Country Park too, along with its mansion house for 700 odd years. And our destination, Pollok Country Park, lies on land that was gifted in 1966 by the heiress of the family. We just head down to the junction and enter the park. It can take a while to get across here. Each phase seems to cycle round, so it just depends what stage it's at when you arrive. If it's clockwise, we might be in one from next. We're just at the end of an unseasonably hot period in Scotland. Temperatures certainly getting up to 28 degrees Celsius here in the city. A bit cooler today, I think about 18. Looks like it must be anti-clockwise, or not even that, because it should have been us. There we are, finally. And as we enter the park, we're looking at 16 minutes 41 seconds. But I would say a good 2 minutes of that was sitting at those lights. So we'll just go a quick circuit. As we enter the gates at the lodge. Avoid overhanging branches. As I say, I don't know this park terribly well, but I did plan a route roughly, assuming I remember it. This is Glasgow's largest city park and its only country park. It has Pollok House, which you can normally visit, although I believe it's currently closed for refurbishment. There's also the Borough Collection, which is a museum that's free to enter, I believe, with a collection of exhibits donated presumably by Mr. Borough. but to my shame I've never actually been. It has been raining heavily this morning. That's why the ground's wet, and perhaps the park's less busy than it would have been. Now I know this camera is not the best in poor light, so apologies if the footage is grainy, but it's just beautiful. One of the reasons I wanted to do this video as well was to show how easy it is to get out of the city and into a beautiful environment. This is actually rated as one of the underused parks, so it would be great to see more people making use of it. It's just beautiful. Yeah. Just briefly show you this pond area. Ducks enjoying some peace and quiet. So nice. Lovely. I know this is man-made, but the beauty still speaks to me of God's creation, the variety of trees and plants. And even ourselves are are like him in designing beautiful things. I think I went the wrong way last time, so let's go this way. Yeah, we're fine. So I hope you enjoyed that short circuit of Pollok Country Park. If you're in the area, well worth a visit. Yeah. I know.
You've been filming it?
Yeah, I was filming around the park and along the cycle route.
So you can speak and talk?
Yeah, I've got the microphone there.
And speak? So what do you explain what you see?
Yeah, about the history of the buildings and things.
This is really good, huh?
It's
a good camera.
Where are you from yourself?
France.
Nice.
So you explain and it doesn't vibrate, it's like sounds like a good setup. I need something like that.
Yeah.
Why did you buy that?
Not long ago, but it's an old model because it's the first time I've done it.
Oh, you haven't seen the results yet?
Not this specific video, no. It's DJI Osmo.
Yeah, I try to remember.
So you can either get that one or there's the GoPros or the other ones you can get.
Yeah. The GoPros are...
But it's good for if you're moving about, it steadies the footage.
Yes, I'd like to get one. DJI Action 3.
Yeah. See you.
See you later, have a nice day.
You too. Nice Frenchman there. Oh, I forgot to start my clock, but it doesn't matter. Just briefly coming off the cycle route there to see if I can get an image of this building, which may be the oldest on our route today. Very possibly is. So there we have Hag's Castle, which is dated 1585. So we're talking about 440 years. It was the seat of the Maxwell family until they moved out and had Pollok House built. Now it's in private hands, private residence, but it's good that it's been kept, well kept, because some of the buildings we've been passing that are a quarter of that length are much worse nick. Yes, 440 years. I did my family tree a few years back and really only got back to the 1700s, which is still 7 or 8 generations. But wonder if any of them visited that castle. Probably not, they were mostly poor miners and crofters. It wasn't really till my grandparents' generation that everything seemed to change and they became middle class. Just briefly, we have had a lot of rain today, but here's an example of lack of drainage. The annoying thing is that the drainage infrastructure exists, it's just not been maintained. And of course, it's because of money, but what does kind of annoy me a bit is that there's a section of my local cycle lane that floods every time it rains, and now that they've upgraded the traffic signals so that pedestrians, there's sensors there to show if pedestrians walk away that will cancel the call button, so pedestrians have to stand right in the splash zone or else the signal will cancel and they can't cross the road, but then they'll get splashed. So reported it multiple times, but that's several years, and we've not seen any resolution. But you wonder if it was on a roadway affecting motor vehicles, would they commit more resources then? Of course, drivers would say no because they're spending it all on the cycle lanes. No perfect solution, I suppose. Right, so on the left here we've got Shields electric traction depot. Looks after the trains. ScotRail. I wanted to say that right. Electric traction depot. In 1967 that was opened. And we've got a Sikh temple there, the Gurdwara. Lovely. Not a big fan of spitting, I have to admit. It's just not. It's just not civilised. You can understand if you get a fly in your mouth or something in the countryside, fair enough, but let's carry it. Oh, good. It was green, it was green. Now, another of my pet hates is graffiti, but I don't want this to become a moaning video, so there's one I do actually appreciate. If you can see it, I think it's supposed to be a raccoon or something. The road's too busy to cross. If it's too small, I'll put a picture up. But no, I am enjoying this cycle. And if you live in Pollokshields, as I say, you're in and out of the city really quickly. Much quicker than if you're driving, I think. So just on the right here we have Scotland Street Public School, opened in 1906. Its claim to fame is that it was designed by Charles Rennie Mackintosh. Now it's obviously under renovation with scaffolding, but you can certainly see the design of the gates even, and the font of that school board sign. It was converted into a museum in 1990, and I think I was there as a youngster on a school trip. Give children an idea of school life back then. Much stricter. This building here, Murgatroyd House. I had a look into the Murgatroyd company. So they're a law firm specialising in intellectual property. They started in Glasgow in 1975 and seem to have offices all over the world now. But I just love that surname, Murgatroyd. You would have thought it would be foreign, but Wikipedia says it's originates from, I think, the Old English, some place names in Yorkshire. Westbridge Gardens, that's the old engineering works residential conversion, looks well done. And not only do I appreciate the Star Wars Lego in the window, but also the chiselled street signs, West Street and Cook Street. That being an old paintworks. Can't remember the date. And you've got also an old grain mill, the Victoria Grain Mill here with the tower. We've got another green light, come on. So I think we can safely say that you're talking about 15 minutes to the end of the route. It took me less than 10 to get to the... Oh no, I do it, Andrew. Stick to what you're doing yourself. Yeah, so just on the right here, at the end of the route, we have Buchanan Wharf, which is a set of buildings that were completed between 2021 and 2023. 5 buildings, some new builds and some conversions, and I do like the architecture. There's a lot of new builds that I don't appreciate the style, or that I like the colours. I think it blends in well. I think that might be the old Clyde Place Assessment Centre. Was a homeless unit once upon a time. The gardens look great. And $850. That's to celebrate Glasgow's, it's like 850 years since it got its city charter from the Crown. So you've got a couple of residential blocks, I think, for workers. You've got the student loans company here. It always seems quiet when I'm here, even on a weekday. And I do love how they've included the street signs. Tradeston Street, Clyde Place Lane. Oh, look at that. So the Barclays headquarters is the main building. But I imagine there'll be a lot of working from home still, so whether or not it's at capacity, I do not know. We get some nice views while doing the banking. So folks, I just want to thank you for watching the video. Hope you found it interesting. As I say, I'll plan to do a couple more of the different cityways, and hopefully I'll get some good weather this month to do that. So thanks very much. Take care everyone. Bye.